Messages from the Divine. Pulled an interesting card this morning. Think it's very fitting for where I am in the world and where you may be and where we are as a collective, where some of that reality is converging and blending. So, number 29, the journey. Why am I pulling these cards? Why am I rather pulling these cards and doing videos on them? Because I don't believe in erratic coincidence. I believe and have witnessed through my own experiences and the witnessing of others' experiences and multiple conversations and working with thousands of clients that the serendipitous events that occur and unravel in our society are a product, or our lives and our families and our society are a product of the unconscious and conscious intentions that we set into the world. We are so interconnected, it's inconceivable to even begin to understand that. And that fascinates me. The unknown around that fascinates me. And so if I set an intention to pull a card from a deck that has been on the side on my bedside table for some time, and I look at that card, we're very good as humans as that we have a capacity to make things mean certain things. And if we trust the meaning that we're layering on certain experiences and events, and we go into that and we explore that, it helps us understand, know, and feel ourselves at a deeper level. That level of expansion allows us to move forward with a different sense of momentum. And so what may apply to me may apply to you, may not. We're humans though, and we share great similarities as we share great differences. And so this card, number 29, the journey, again split up into this particular deck, split up into three sections: the essence, the invitation, and the medicine. And I'll read this out to you and I'll break it down, what it means for my life and what it could mean for your life. Because again, these signposts along our journey help us navigate towards a truer sense of self, a more aligned version of self, as opposed to being stuck in a rut or being monotonous in our action or living to the tune of someone else's song. I think that's important because that either creates a sense of well-being and meaning and belongingness in our lives, or we feel tension, we feel restriction, we feel inauthentic. And these are unpleasant, undesirable states to be in. And if we are in these states for years on end, that shit compounds and it affects us, the intimacy of our relationships, the quality of our relationships, and who we get to be in the world. The essence. The journey is an invitation to step outside the boundaries of your life as you know it. I think we can all relate to that one. The journey is not a holiday. It is a call. It is a call to be hermit-like and to go on a pilgrimage into the unknown. There are no maps to the territory you will be exploring, no marked paths or road signs. To me, this speaks to the unknown, the uncertainty, the mystery. And we gravitate often to what's known and familiar. But that safety of what's known and familiar isn't necessarily the best thing for us. But we think it is, and the brain believes it is because it's familiar, it's known. And we are so resistant to moving into the unknown. I think when a card like this comes up, and it's not even a card, but when a message like this comes up, it's an opportunity to venture into the unknown. Now, whilst there is fear and trepidation that also comes with that, there's also excitement and possibility. And generally the more we practice being uncomfortable, whether it's having a cold shower, whether it's applying for that job you don't think you can get, whether it's taking a different route to work, whatever it may be for you, starting that business, starting a new hobby, learning a new skill, attending to your garden, whatever it may be, that new thing that you do, practice being in the unknown, it's liberating. And it also prepares us for bigger events in our lives, such as death, such as the loss of a loved one, such as moving country, such as a natural disaster occurring, whatever it may be. It prepares us deeper for that challenge. The invitation. The time to embark on the great journey is here. Do not linger in the port when distant shores are calling. Fearlessly draw your own navigational charts as you discover the route. When the time is right, as it is now, you will be led true, even when you are not sure of where you are going. It is the departure that is most important. If you miss the boat, a great opportunity would be lost. Another ship may not arrive for a very long time. I know in my own life, I've wanted to take chances, wanted to make decisions, and have held back because I haven't believed in myself. I didn't think I was capable or able. I didn't feel I had the support. I thought I would be mocked and laughed. I cared too much what other people thought. You know, fearlessly draw on your own navigational charts, and as you discover your own route. I always relied on the charts of others. What did other people think? What did they want me to do? What did my father want me to do? How did he see life? How did that have to be? And how did I abide by that? Influenced deeply by my peer groups. Didn't think for myself. I did and I didn't. I got caught in this void of I'd think for myself autonomously, but then be pulled back into the group, into the peer group. And so the opportunity that we have here when I read this, and the invitation for me personally, because we're constantly up-leveling our lives. We're either growing or we're stagnant. That's what's essentially happening. And so if you're in that phase of growth, you're open to growth. So we have a possibility to be constantly growing. Doesn't mean we're not appreciating where we are, we're not in gratitude, but we have this opportunity to be growing. And so with that comes this opportunity to draw our own maps, to create our own path. And that's important because we often move with such fear and trepidation that we miss that opportunity, and that becomes a habit and a norm for us to act in that way, to act from a place of fear and retraction. And so where are you doing that in your life where you could be leaning in, moving forward? And it's not about forward or backwards, up and down. We use these linear progressions as a way of understanding where do you want to be in your life. Are you living true to you? The medicine. The journey is calling you, but the timing is premature. Collecting postcards or fantasies of where you want to go may take over your focus and make you miss your destiny. Are you acting on what's important to you? Or are you only dreaming about it with no action, with no execution, with no momentum, with no extension of what's happening in your internal world? That's what creates karma in the world as well, right? That's what creates our destiny, is the action upon the thoughts or the feelings that we are having about a certain thing, experience, relationship, people, ourselves. Other things must be completed first, or you may still be attached to knowing the destination. Remember that the point of the journey is not the destination, it's who you will become as you are transformed along the way. Do not confuse the inner and the outer journey, and that's the medicine. What I love about that is that we often forget we live in a very masculine-dominated world, a world of goal orientation, objectives, achievements, accomplishments. There's nothing wrong with these things. We need these things. It's one of the reasons why we're here today, able to have these conversations through technological interfaces such as what we're using now. And if we become hyper-obsessed with that, because remember we learn richly and deeply through contrast, we become hyper-obsessed with that, we lose the other side of the coin, the polarity, the complementary polarity of this, or the feminine way of being immersed in the experience, not solely focused to a detriment on the outcome or the goal. If we are only focused on the goal without being present to what's unraveling in the moment, not only does the goal become distorted, but it becomes such a focus that we miss the present moment. We get to our goal and we're dissatisfied. The anticipatory state of dopamine has rushed through us so much because our focus is there, and we get there, it's like, oh, is this all there is? And we feel hard done by. We feel like we've lost something. We feel like we've lost those moments. We feel emptiness. There's a reason for that. It's because we're not allowing the process itself to help shift us. We're trying to avoid the tension or the negativity or the quote-unquote bad stuff or the difficulties or the challenges that come with growth. They're inevitable, but we keep trying to deny them. And when we deny them, we're denying parts of ourselves. We don't feel whole, we feel polarized, we feel fractured. And so there's something to be said for being immersed in the journey, that feminine aspect of feeling our way through the world, being present to that and appreciating that at great depth. And maybe reiterating and innovating along the way and pivoting along the way. And not being so attached to our goals. Yes, be clear on your goals. Yes, be clear on what you want and what's important to you, but also choose to let that go and be in the present moment when you need to. Power and blessings.